There's few things in life that can have as varied as impact as food. To some, it's cultural heritage, memories, a way to bond with friends, a way to relax after a long day, or it might just simply be nutrition so you don't die. Food in gaming is really no different, actually. A background task, or a critical component, or a key mechanic. It can take many different forms and engagement styles, so it makes sense to have a game about those aspects, using food as a tool to remember past family members and to bring together new friends. Combine that with a cozy road trip and cute animal characters, and then you've got a potential recipe for success. This is Fruitbus.
Oh, hello, Pumpkin. There's a teeny tiny favour I'd like to ask of you. If you're up for an adventure, Grandma has friends all over the islands. Some better than others. Think you could gather them all one last time for a real feast? Don't worry, I've left you the Fruitbus to help you out. The world is brimming with delicacies, Pumpkin. All you have to do is look. The Fruitbus will attract hungry customers, after all, who might need a salad with attitude. Others will crave smoothies with feelings. Or stir fries with anger issues. Just remember, food binds us all. Love, Grandma.
There were a good number of interesting indie titles shown off during the summer showcases. Fruitbus from Krillbyte Studios was one of those titles sitting closer to the top of my interest list than others. A cozy little title involving you taking over your late grandmother's food truck, driving around, gathering all manner of fruits and veggies before crafting them into delicious, or not so delicious, recipes to serve to your waiting customers. We were even lucky enough to check it out at Gamescom, which was very cool to see how it's progressing along. Krillbyte have tried to create something unique and interesting here, and that's what indie games do best. A game that celebrates the idea of how food brings us together, how it connects us to the past, and allows us to remember those who might have left us. It's a noble idea, and a great little hook as well. Fruitbus starts off with you running around enjoying some quality time with a teddy bear and your grandmother, before flashing forward 10 years. Grandma has passed on and has left you her Fruitbus. It's a simple task as throwing a farewell feast for her friends to reminisce, remember, and celebrate. Along the way, you'll meet a wonderful cast of characters who each had their own run-ins with Grandma and her Fruitbus, and they'll share their memories of her with you. It's quaint, a simple wish being fulfilled. When you start your journey, you are only able to make salads. This involves chopping items and putting them in a bowl. Over the course of your road trip, you'll learn smoothies, bread, stir-fries, and a host of other delicious items. The core loop here is a simple one to understand, which is what you really want from a cozy game. You want it to be interesting, but you don't want there to be a barrier and complexity when you're first getting it. It's meant to be relaxing, not a complicated spreadsheet. You go out, you gather items, you bring them back to your truck, you open up shop, and you craft the requested items for your customers, giving it your own flair along the way. But you're not alone in this journey. Grandma's riding shotgun the whole time, allowing you to remember stories and memories you shared with her, as well as having a cute narrator tell you about new items when you discover them in the world. Grandma knows a lot about carrots. There's charm to it. You're building something of your own while remembering that Grandma lived her own crazy life that you only saw parts of. She even drove the bus down the side of a volcano. There's a path you're walking here, like footsteps left from those before. You're making your own path while remembering and visiting theirs, seeing how they did it, and then setting out to do it your own way with your own truck and food style. Outside of the food system, you'll also be tasked with looking after the truck itself and bonding with it in a way that's reminiscent of Pacific Drive for me. This truck might have been Grandma's, sure, but now it's yours, and you can make it what you want. You can put flames down the side of it if you want to. Customization options include decorations, toppers, paint, and much more. It makes the entire journey feel more personal. This is a passing of the torch. It was Grandma's truck, sure, but now it's yours, and you're going to look after it in your own way, remembering that which has passed, as well as celebrating it. It's the newer generation who'll keep the memories alive. I'd be lying if I didn't say I spent a good amount of time customizing the interior layout of my truck to get the benches and storage just right before then coloring everything different ways to see what it looked like and how good I could make it. Because customization is key here, and Krillbite have done a good job of not only allowing that freedom when it comes to recipes and food, but also the truck itself. It opens the game up to be much less restrictive and much more freeing. You can choose what you want to do. Do you simply throw together the easiest recipes while focusing on the truck? Do you go for efficiency over homeliness in the interior and set your benches up for speed and efficiency while creating custom recipes designed to be the best combination for money? It's your truck. You make the rules. And what freedom you have with those rules. There have been few moments this year in games that left me as happy as watching a tourist order a smoothie and deciding that I should sneak a chili pepper into it and waiting for the reaction. Or when they order weird combinations like a garlic smoothie? I'm sorry, who orders a garlic smoothie? You total wrong'un. Not all the Fruitbus comes up fresh and fruity though. Some areas feel a little neglected, either on purpose due to design or limitations of being a smaller indie team. The areas and setting are great, but there's a good amount of the world that just feels like it's there to create distance between the hotspot points of interest you're traveling to. Most of the food you'll be gathering are at those points of interest. They're hotspots around the map. So outside of a few collectibles, there's not really any reason to stop in the middle of nowhere and explore. It's a minor issue, but given that the food items you gather can expire and that you're limited on the amount of space you have in the truck, I was hoping for more abundancy when it came to the placements of where things are in the world. You're limited on space, so you don't really need to be limited on spawn points in my mind. There's no harm in having more of them. It's also, at this point, I need to put the brakes on this road trip for a sec. We were given a pre-release copy of the game to review, and with that came the caveat that there might still be some gremlins running around. One of those did unfortunately hit us, and it meant that we weren't able to actually see the ending of the game. I'm not going to be too harsh on it for this. We were told it was a pre-release copy, we were told that there might be issues, and we have informed the devs of the issue, supplied footage of it, and hopefully it will get fixed. So I'm not entirely sure it's going to be a widespread issue. While it hinders us from experiencing the full game, I'm not sure it's going to really hinder you or anyone else. So I'm not going to be marking down the game for it, but I'm bringing it up because sadly it did prevent us from seeing the end of Grandma's journey, and I would have really liked to see that. The journey itself and learning all about the memories of Grandma is a great part of the game. It's that interesting mix of like new and old, the nostalgia of like connection to family and heritage. And it would have been great to hear more about Grandma's wild stories, like the volcano one. So it just kind of leads a little bit of a sadness note for there. Anyway, okay, pit stop out of the way. Let's bring this bus home. Fruitbus is the kind of cozy game that I adore. I'm a sucker for any kind of crafting system, and when you combine that with a personalization of your own Fruitbus, it just lifts it that little bit higher. The game elicits memories of Pacific Drive and games like Atelier for me. That personal connection to your vehicle while roaming around the world, gathering items, and then that other aspect of crafting your own little things out of the things that you've gathered, making it yours, adding your flair to it, and then selling it on. The world is more hub-based than I would like, but it doesn't detract too heavily from the charm, nor does it impede your ability to just kick back, relax, and enjoy making a smoothie or two, or reflecting on all of those crazy tales of Grandma, and making some of your own.